Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to show you how to make an alternate project using the March Paper Pumpkin Daisy Daydreams kit. Look at the box. I mean, I fell in love with the box, never mind the ingredients on the inside, and there are so many. But what I did was, the first video I did, I said, oh, let me show you how to cut these cards in half and make 6. Well, 2 of the card bases I cut in half, but the other one was a ZZ fold card and I used the whole thing. I just folded it back on itself. So obviously I was a card short, promising 6. There was 5 lovely cards, and I will link the video to that in the bottom of here. But then I thought, to make it up to you, I would go ahead and do an extra card. So let me pop that off to one side. This is what the card kit makes. It's pretty much similar to this one. It's using the main bases of this ingredient, but of course, being an alternate, it's not exactly the same. So let me bring in the ingredients and get it made and show you. So it's a piece of basic black, and it's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, folded in half, and that fits in a standard envelope. And then, like I say, this was the piece that we're going to be using. But then what I did was I took an envelope and I fussy cut the B out of the bottom corner. This piece on the other envelope I'd already added to one of my 5 alternate projects. And then the flowers I cut separately. The basic white piece is to go on the inside, so there is somewhere to write. And this B I stamped. There is a B stamp that comes in the kit. So I just stuck it on one of my little acrylic blocks. So basically just a quick reminder of how you would do that. So you stamp it with the Memento black onto a piece of basic white cardstock, and then I took my Daffodil Delight blend pen, colored it in, and then I fussy cutted it out. So what I've done is I've got a B pretty similar to the ones that came in the kit. This was what was left from the other video, and these were the B's that popped out. So it's not too bad considering it's been hand stamped. So without further delay, let me show you how we're going to make this. First of all, we are going to stick the inside in. So that's the easy part. Oops. I think it finishes a card off nicely. And apart from anything else, unless you're using a white gel pen, you need it when you're using a black card. So this, isn't it wonderful? It's got these lovely deckled edges. We are going to raise it up like the card in the kit suggests, but we're going to stick all these extra little doodads on. And one of the greetings says, wishing you brighter days ahead. And I'm not quite sure whether that's like a sympathy card or what, but I thought it would make a great thinking of you card or a get well soon card. So that's going to be the theme of what mine is going to be. So what we need to do is we need to lay this piece on and line up the circle. So we know that's going to go there. But what I want to do is I want to add these daisies to the bottom, and I need to trim this off. So I'm going to bring in my silicone mat. I wanted this to stay the right way, up. Come on now, behave yourselves. I mean, I'm pretty much going to cover this area, but it would be nice if it would just stay where it needs to be. And then I'm going to bring in my glue, and actually you can see it's the envelope. You can see where it's sticky, so I could, to be honest, just go ahead and lick that like an envelope. But I'll do the right thing and use glue. You don't want to see me licking things. So now we know that this is going to go here, more or less. this is the way that this needs to stand up. And then we're going to put it on with as little lost as possible. So it's glued on, and then because the front layer is going to be raised up, you will be able to see underneath it, and I didn't want there to be sort of circular around it. I wanted it to look like it was fully the pattern. So we'll just pop that off to one side. So now we've got this cut round in a circle, because it is going to be exactly the same size. I'm not cutting it down any because I wanted the full effect, because there's actually a little bit of the yellow shading on this side. So this piece is just going to get stuck in. So again, we'll lay this where it needs to be, or you know, where we're pretty much going to put it. And then we can still line up these little honeycombs and then pull those out. So that's going to be on the card where the place needs it to be. And then the other ones we are just going to attach as close to the edge as we can get them. Because it's a deckled edge and these ones are straight, it doesn't really matter too much, but the closer to the edge you can get, the less you can see it's not exactly the same. I mean, if you wanted to, you could pop these ones on, and like I cut the circle out, you could decal around them. But to be honest, I think that's close enough that you can't tell it one's the straight edge. And then we're going to attach the flowers in the same fashion. It's so funny when you turn these over and then you suddenly realize they're gummed on the other side. Oh, I'm making a right mess. It's just as well I used my silicone mat, isn't it? So I'll pop this one down. Oh, Alyson, you've made a right sticky mess. The nice thing about a silicone mat is it really does hide all your accidents, but then everything on it just sort of wipes away like silverfish. I don't know how it works. I just know that it does. Anyway, I'm going to leave that until it dries, and this one is going to go over here, hopefully not as messy. So we just need to pop this one as close to that edge. Well, that one was a lot more successful, wasn't it? So now we are going to attach this to the front of the card, and I'm going to be using, actually I'm going to bring in another silicone mat just because the one I got is so covered in glue. I'm going to use the lines of dimensionals that they gave us, the lovely strips. And of course, the nice thing about strips is you could use small ones, but by the time you've done lots and lots of little backing pulling off, like, here's another one, yeah, here's another one. So we'll cut that one in half. It doesn't have to be solid. We're not making like a shaker card or anything. So what I'm going to do is put that one back on the mat, and I am actually going to use just one hexagon for that corner. So then we can peel all the backings off. Make sure they're all sticky, so we've got them all off. I'm just going to stand up quickly because, of course, the only other way to see if it was right would have been to stick my head in the shot, and I didn't really want that to happen. So there we have it. So that's the card 3D dimensionaled onto the front. And then we can bring in the greeting, like I said, which is wishing brighter days ahead. And we could have done this before we stuck the front on, but it will go on. Wishing you brighter days ahead. And then I've got lots of word stamps, and I could stamp thinking of you, or a get well soon, or just handwrite a nice sentiment. And then last but not least is to take our lovely fussy cut bee and just pop that on. So it only really needs glue on half his body and one of his wings, so he can stick on the edge. And there you have it. So it's using this die bit, lots of the envelope elements, and it's got the basic white on the inside. If you like what you've seen, please consider subscribing, give me a thumbs up. If you've got a question or a comment, pop those in the box below. Like I say, I will link the video that did the 5, that should have been 6 but ended up being 5, in the bottom of here. All the directions and dimensions will be on my blog as usual. And in the meantime, thanks so much for watching.